The world moves pretty fast. 1 minute you're standing, the next you're dragging. How can you keep up? I'll tell you. I'm Ira Madison III, host of Keep It. Each week, Louis Vertel, Aida Osman, and I do the hard work of exploring the intersection between entertainment, culture, and politics with guests like Billy Porter, Catherine O'Hara, Ronan Farrow, Francesca Ramsey, and more. New episodes of Keep It drop every Wednesday. Listen on Odyssey, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts.
How's your mental health? I'm listening with Dr. Christine Moutier.
Mental health is a part of all of our lives. It's something that we can learn about. We can find safe ways to get support and to really deepen our own knowledge of how do we turn that idea that mental health is just like our physical health, it's a part of our lives, into actionable strategies to actually live better and to reduce our risk for suicide.
Explore more at imlistening.org.
Thanks, Skater. All right, Football Friday is upon us. We'll get the rest of your calls as I'm bringing Ben Simmons home. This man belongs in this town. We deserve each other. Philadelphia Inquirer reporting, negotiations, Pistons, Sixers, Ben Simmons, Jeremy Grant, and a collection of nothing.
And I'm going to say this, David, at 3:01 and 17 seconds, make sure you timestamp this. If Ben Simmons comes here, this man sitting across from me, this beautiful man, he is not allowed to criticize anything that he does.
That's not fair.
For 2 years. Because why? He wanted him here. He begged for him to come here. He knocked on Troy Weaver's door. He sat outside of his car in District Detroit and said, hey, Troy, you got to bring him here. So if he comes, I don't want to hear, this guy blows. No, he doesn't. No, he doesn't. He can't shoot. No, he can't. Nope. He is perfect. He is your soulmate for 2 years.
My spirit animal.
Just letting you know. So that's part of the deal, in case you didn't know. He comes here, you can't say a word.
I have good news for you.
Okay.
Any deals that go public very rarely ever happen. So the odds are it won't happen.
Man, you a power broker. You get stuff done.
Okay, good. So then that segues into this. It is a Football Friday. And
Mike's leaving straight from here to go and finalize the deal with Tucker before they leave to Columbus. Breaking news, in case you guys didn't know.
I think it's probably best to wait until after our burial tomorrow. Optically speaking. Look, let's just keep this nice and simple for everybody. You either believe they got a chance to win or you don't. Michigan State goes down there 19-point underdogs. You either believe they're going to win or you don't. You believe they can win or they won't. So my question is simple. I'm not going to do the worst sports radio thing of all, which is, hey, Pard, let's break it down. You know, OSU's got really good receiver. Burp, fart, vomit. We all know what both teams do and don't have. You either believe or you don't. So that's where I want to start the conversation. And if you have reasons you believe, hey, I'll live with it. You want to bring up something we haven't thought of, I'm in. But the worst thing we can do, Kenneth Walker's probably got to play real well for the boys to pull this one out. WPRE radio, you've been canceled. 248
I had so much I had to talk about.
248-539-9797.
Pick up the phone and
talk about the offensive line breakdown and the zoning. No,
straight up. Do you believe they have a chance to get this done or not? And you know where I'm at with this. I think it's Cinderella. It's getting late. Your Uber's arrived, and it's a pumpkin. Now, will I hope that they can do it? Of course I will. I'll sit down at noon. I won't stop thinking about this game from now until kickoff. I'm beyond excited. Flip the coin. There's no pressure. But it's hope for me. And hope is not a strategy. Hope is me being a fan. And that's not a game plan. There is nothing matchup-wise that suggests we can get this done. But I'll still be hopeful that it'll happen. Football's a strange game. I'm hoping for some strange things.
So your hopefulness, when do you finally just realize, they win? Is it when the clock says 0-0-0 that you finally quit all your snarky remarks and say, oh, we won the game?
No, if they were in this thing at halftime, immediately it switches from hope to expectation. If you've played a good half against these guys and you're you're within a score or God forbid up, it would turn to.
If I sat right next to you on the couch with the dogs, you at halftime, okay, and here's where Smith and the Jigba just rips us apart.
No, halftime is that barometer. Look, they scored their first 6 possessions against Purdue. They took that game and took Purdue's hope and said, no, not today. Now, if you want to be hopeful, you got to somehow unlock whatever it was that Nebraska did, whatever it was that Penn State did. And unfortunately, I don't think we have the horses to do it, namely on the back end. But Rico, your checkpoints when you're this big of an underdog, A, survive the first 5 minutes and don't be down 14-0. Mm-hmm. B, can I get to halftime and be able to reach out and touch the opponent? If they do that, I'll change my tune, but I don't have that hope.
So you're a little better than me. For me, it's can you get to the end of the third quarter and you're still within 10 points? At that point, maybe you got a chance. But for Ohio State, you're right. You can't get boat race right out the gate. You can't look up and see you're down 21-0 because you're not coming back from that. Because that means your entire playbook, just go ahead and ball that thing up and just tell Peyton Thorne you're playing 500. Kenneth Walker, you got the day off because now we just got to keep throwing the ball. That falls right into what Ohio State wants you to do. Yeah, it's that probably Ohio State's first 3 possessions are going to tell me what type of a day you're going to have. If it's too easy, yeah, just go ahead and don't even put pressure. Don't call timeouts. Just speed this clock up and just go ahead and take the L. Or send a note to the refs and say, we're just not coming out of that.
And look, it's not an issue of not wanting to win or that they can't do it. I mean, look, I'll always believe there's a pathway to victory. There's only been a handful of games where I've said my team has a 0.0 chance. I mean, the playoff against Alabama, you're not winning that game. You know, there's some games and years where you're bad.
But see, even the playoff game against Alabama at halftime, it was 10-0. You threw that pick.
I was devastated with that interception. That interception, it could have been 10-7. You would have had my belief.
Dude, yeah.
Can we not re-adjudicate that? Yeah. I mean, that it's just painful. I could still see.
It was D'Anthony Arnett wide open on the other side.
Okay. Another player I never want to speak of. So bottom line, look.
Pick up the phone and start dialing.
Does MSU have a shot at this tomorrow? Like, no one's asking you for your score or your prediction. It's just, do you have a belief they can get this done? Yes, I know 2015 happened. Yes, 1998 happened. 31-point underdogs. And yes, if you want to go in the Wayback Machine to Levi Jackson in 1973 or 75, whatever it was, yeah, that happened too. Guys, I still view MSU as a Cinderella story this year. And we know how fairy tales generally end. Not well. Not when they're on a 100-yard football field.
But the way you like numbers in Vegas and all of that, I mean, the 4 times that they've met, and they were both top 10 teams, State's won 3 of them.
Okay, so then let me ask you this.
They need a lot of help.
No, they do.
They need a lot of help. They need turnovers.
The way I look at it, too, is like we always make the point there's a half a dozen plays a game that kind of decide it. You need to be on the right side of those. So, hey, it's 3rd and 14. You got a false start. Stroud drops back to pass. He's got somebody open. He overthrows him. That's a punt. Well, okay, that's a lucky break. Need it. Hey, drop back. They go to throw a screen. Gets tipped up in the air. You get yourself an interception. Okay, those are the types of things you're going to need. Because reality is these guys are way better than we are. So my only thing I can offer you is this. There is no magic offensively. Ohio State's defense is not that good. If you play your game, you'll be able to put up some points. Do I think MSU needs to be exceptional offensively? Yes. So automatically I will tell you, I'm not punting the football. Now, if I'm on my own 20, that's different. I'm saying if I get out anywhere near midfield and it's 4th and 5 or less,
I was about to say,
run your best play.
4th and 4, we're still going to go.
Run your best play.
And not only that, guys, don't look to the sideline. No substitution. Maybe you catch them off guard.
Right. Too
many men on the field.
Going into the week, and I have no holy idea what they're practicing and repping or not. No one does. I would be prepping my team. Don't look to the sideline. Down in distance, we're going. Field goals, never. Well, what do you mean? What if it's 4th and 6 at the 31? I'm going for it. I'm not interested in kicking field goals.
Field goals, yes. Only if you get a turnover, you got to get something off of that turnover.
The problem, Coughlin's not healthy. You saw him limping off the field last week. He's not healthy.
Man, he's got the soul and spirit of a tiger.
I don't want to see him. Now,
you hate kickers. This is beyond.
Here's the other part. And this is, again, people, it's like the Ben Simmons trade. Everybody's like, oh, my God, it's so risky. You might give up 60. You might give up 60 tomorrow regardless of your offensive game plan.
Hold on.
So let me, So here's my deal. Last week, you could tell Mel Tucker got involved with the defense and the game plan. They were mugging the line of scrimmage. They were blitzing. They were bringing safeties. They were bringing corners. They were bringing A-gap blitzes like Narduzzi was back. It got Tua's little brother off kilter. Now, this ain't Maryland. That is clear. But if you have any hope of doing anything, you can't operate out of fear. Oh, well, if I blitz, fill in the blank, Garrett Wilson, Olave, Smith and Jigba, they'll burn me. Yeah, and if you don't, they'll burn you. Go look up C.J. Stroud's stats against soft cover, against zone. It's murderous. The only hope you got is to make C.J. Stroud uncomfortable. No, I'm not getting on the radio telling you got to hurt somebody. But when you hit a quarterback, it's like a parking meter. The meter starts running. And a quarterback's only got so many hits in him before he starts to see ghosts, maybe start to throw off platform, maybe start to rush a little bit. Hey, you think I'm reaching? You're right, I am. The only thing I could offer you is play the game with no fear of giving up 60. Because it'll happen regardless of what we do. But when you blitz, maybe a ball gets tipped, maybe a strip, maybe you set them back 7 or 8 yards, and then you can get off the field. Like, Rico, I know that's a very fancy thing to say, but the game plan they had last week, best thing I could offer you. It's their only hope in the limited hope they have.
You actually have precedent for this when you look at what Oregon did, and that was without their best defender.
Thibodeau didn't play, and Justin Flo didn't play.
Right. But Oregon made him uncomfortable. And it's not, like I said, you're not taking him out the game. You got to make him uncomfortable. Tulsa. Most people didn't watch Ohio State-Tulsa.
That game was it 21-14, late third?
Tulsa had a chance to win the game late, and they turned the ball over, I believe. I think, yeah, but it was going into the fourth quarter, it's where you want Michigan State with a shot. Now you just can't screw yourself up. Look at what Nebraska did. Nebraska made him uncomfortable. Now, of course, Nebraska went full Nebraska at the end of the game.
It was amazing.
Tell me what happened, Mike, at the end of the game.
Hey, Martinez, turn the ball over.
There you go.
Honestly, the Martinez Choose Your Own Adventure book is the only children's book where both options end up in a turnover. Your child gets no hope of happiness.
Fumble on a scramble, fumble on a sack strip.
Oh,
interception.
Choose this adventure, interception. How about this one? Strip sack. Your kid goes to bed crying.
But if you make him uncomfortable, you're right. To me, when I know what people are going to say, Ohio State has better weapons around them, but Stroud and Thorne, very similar. When they can sit back in the pocket, they look masterful, except for Ohio State has first-round receivers. But when you make both quarterbacks move around and do different things, they start overthrowing targets, underthrowing targets, interceptions.
Only way I'll come out upset, honestly. Like, I'm expecting to go in and get hammered. But the only way I'll be upset is if they play cautious, if they play scared. They punt, they settle for a 48-yard field goal that you know your kicker can't make, or they play the bend but don't break passivity.
Or, you know what? You
just play.
You line up for the field goal, you call timeout, you let the entire world know you're about to do a fake, and then it doesn't work.
All I want to do is just pull the pin. You know, if the grenade goes off, it goes off, but there's still a chance.
It was going off regardless.
So just play and see what happens. Like, the fact of the matter is we're going to a New Year's Six bowl, provided we don't tank against Penn State. This has been a fairy tale. It's been one of the most enjoyable seasons I've had in Michigan State football ever. It ranks up there right with the D'Antonio years because of its level of unexpectedness. And, yeah, Ohio State, until I see otherwise, they're that dude. They're that team. And I just don't think we're at a place. Look, everybody wants to go back to 2015. You have to remember that was a finished product for Mark. That was a program in year 8 or 9 of a Hall of Fame coach,
and here's
coming off of multiple 11-win seasons. Like
in 2015, to add to your case, It's the one when your defense can travel, and that defense traveled.
Man, was Craig Evans good that day. Was he good that day.
But you had the defense that can slow them down, and, they didn't run Zeke Elliott.
Well, yeah. See, that angers me so much. Go back and watch that game. Zeke was getting 2 yards a carry.
Yeah.
How are you going to keep running your running back when he ain't gaining any yards? Such a lazy take.
Nah, but you know what, Mike? Coming from you would be angry if they stopped running Kenneth Walker.
Not if he's getting 2 yards a carry.
You would be angry because you would be like, you got a Heisman Trophy guy out there,
Rico,
and you chose not to play.
You got to show some competency. Like, I get it when people get frustrated when it's like, why do they keep running and it's 2nd and 7? Well, because you gain 3 yards. Because you give yourself another crack. Now, all of a sudden, what if I run it again and it's 3rd and 3? Well, now I've opened up my whole playbook. I feel like 3rd and that's why you keep going at it. Doesn't have to be these huge runs, Rico.
David, you want to watch his head explode? So why do you get upset that Ben Carter played over Jaren Jackson?
Because Ben Carter didn't have 2 legs.
Oh, but Jaren did nothing that game.
He's a lottery pick.
Okay.
You got to at least try.
But at any moment, Zeke could have hit one.
Thank you.
Yeah, but okay.
Zeke's a first-round pick.
Do you really want to go? Do we want to go back and do the drive chart of that game?
Sure.
Okay. Go ahead. You do that and tell me that my take is wrong.
No, but when you have a guy like that, it's just like, once again, if Walker's being bottled up, you can't quit because at any moment he could take 175 yards.
The way that you don't quit is if you know 4th down's available too. You can always make
and that's
one
what
of
I
those
mean.
a run.
4th down, don't even look to the sideline. No substitutions.
Yeah, just go.
Don't give them a chance to adjust.
Within
Guys,
reason,
you already know the play.
If it's 4th and 18, we're not going for it. I'm just saying.
I said 4th and 4. You said 4th and 5.
Oh, if I'm coaching, 4th and 10. I'm not.
First quarter?
I am not kicking field goals.
Now you're playing desperate.
Well, I am. I'm a 19-point underdog.
But you're not down 19 points yet. That's how you get down 19 points. Doing stupid like that.
4th and 8.
No, 4th and 4.
Damn it.
And you got to be on the other side of the 50.
This month on the 11th, French writer George Perec once said that nothing is happening all the time. But what's happening when nothing is happening? This month, 3 people spend several days just sitting in one place, watching, listening. A cemetery in Virginia, a cafe in New York, a plaza in Mexico. It's an appreciation of stillness, wandering minds, and the power of observation. That's this month on the 11th. Find the 11th wherever you get your podcasts.
Have you cut the cord and are feeling bored with your streaming services? CuriosityStream can help. With thousands of documentary films and TV shows, let CuriosityStream put the science back in your screen time. Astound you with history come to life and wildlife that will reach out and grab you. We've got the fix for your nonfiction addiction. And now through Sunday, get 1 year of CuriosityStream for just $12. Sign up today at curiositystream.com.
Hey, I'm Peter Bukowski, host of the Locked On Today podcast. Trying to stay on top of every big story in sports is a full-time job. I know, because it is my full-time job. But it's not yours. That's why we have a network of local experts ready to give you the inside scoop on everything you truly need to know in the sports world. And we do it every day to make sure you're always caught up on the latest and greatest in sports. Listen to the Locked On Today podcast every day on the Odyssey app or wherever you get podcasts.